Hello again, my name is Dr. Bill Johnson, and I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Exploring Our Schools. Today I feel really privileged to have an opportunity to talk about one of those things that get to the heart and soul of what Rockville Center is all about, and it's called the Education Foundation. It's not really a part of the school district, and yet it is so vital a part of what we do in the school district. So without further ado, let me kind of jump right in, introduce you to some of the guests, and then we can start talking about the love of our life, I guess, in some respects, which is the Education Foundation. Laura Cerruto, who I found out earlier, was a graduate in 1987 when I first became superintendent of schools. Welcome, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Lori Brady, who was on the Board of Education, actually, in the years that we began to put the foundation together, and not only served on the board, but was its president for many years. And what's your name? Chris Pelletieri, who's our assistant superintendent. Chris and I work very closely together, but Chris really coordinates a lot of the efforts with the foundation. So, you know, we hear a lot about the foundation in this community, but I'm not sure that people in Rockville Center actually understand what the foundation is all about. I'm not sure who wants to jump in first. Lori, maybe if you wouldn't mind, since you have the longest history.
Well, the foundation was developed, as I'm sure you remember, to supplement what the school district is doing. It was at a time when tax dollars were really tight. Now they've only gotten tighter. But the idea was to raise funds locally and to find, even with grants from other places, to bring money into the school district. And over the years, the foundation has been very successful, raising hundreds of thousands of dollars that have enriched the curriculum and experiences of many, many children.
Maybe we should talk about the salary that you get on the foundation.
Oh, it's volunteer,
Yeah.
but very satisfying.
Yeah, but I think it's very important to understand that you're a volunteer, All of the
Yes.
time that you give to the foundation is volunteer time.
That's
Maybe-
correct. That's correct. Everybody on the board is a volunteer. Everybody's comes to the board bringing their special bag of tricks, their special skills. Everybody has a vested interest in promoting teaching and learning in Rockville Center. And countless hours are donated to the preparation for the gala, for the fundraiser, to the grants committee, sorting through the innovative ideas that the teachers and administrators have, and then funding those ideas. So we spend countless hours, and we have a board of about 25 people who really are devoted to promoting Rockville Center and teaching and learning.
You know, it's fascinating. You use the word countless, and we don't count. You don't count.
No.
But it's a very, very good characterization of the amount of time that people are willing to put in. You know, if you wouldn't mind, maybe we could just start talking with a little bit about the fundraising and the gala, which is coming up
Yes.
in the next few weeks.
Yes, it's our only fundraiser. It's on April 2nd at the Hempstead Golf and Country Club. We have two honorees this year, Mayor Francis Murray and Chris Carmen. Chris Carmen retired as a social studies teacher from the middle school last year. So we honor people who embody our mission, which is to promote the potential of our students. And these two individuals really do embody that spirit. And that's our only fundraiser. Every dollar that we raise goes directly to our grants that fund the innovative ideas of our teachers and administrators.
That's a great segue, but I think very, very important to understand. You know, foundations sometimes are roundly and soundly criticized because such small percentages of the amount of money that actually is collected by some of these
We're
in
unique.
Rockville Center.
Every
literally.
dime goes to the kids.
Right, and then
Every
some.
time. We have no overhead because we're all volunteers.
Everybody is a volunteer. We have
Everybody.
nobody that's paid. Everybody that works on the foundation is a volunteer.
That's correct.
And therefore, every single dollar that we collect is in fact utilized to support the grants now.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about the grants. Chris, if you wouldn't mind, just kind of jump in. What are the grants? What does that mean?
Just this past year alone, we had about 23 grants written by our teachers, staff members. Schools do whole grants, or individual teachers will put in a grant. And we've asked for over $100,000 this year from the Education Foundation. The foundation has donated over $500,000 since 2008, when I started working with the foundation here. It's actually since the beginning of the Foundation's time here in Rockville Center, but it's an incredible partnership, truly, with the community and the schools. And for example, robotics has become a real big piece of what we're doing here in Rockville Center, and our Hour of Code and our STEAM initiatives. And a lot of that really started, Dr. Johnson, with help from the Ed Foundation. They really helped to seed, so to speak, some of the early phases of robotics and coding in the district. And when it became very popular, a lot of districts do STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and we have really had a STEAM initiative. We've added art since the
I
beginning.
got to tell you, if you talk about code, you're talking in code. People that are watching this do not necessarily understand, what is STEAM? I mean, we know what STEAM is, and we
Right.
take a look at what it looks like in the kitchen, but what is it?
So when we talk about initiatives in the district for science or technology, engineering, we add the arts here in Rockville Center, and mathematics as well. And so all of our students, we try to be all-encompassing and bring them into the fold. And they get to do things such as coding robotics or working with computers to create programs. And this is from our earliest youngsters all the way up through the high school. And I remember in 2012, we got a small grant from the Education Foundation to work with our high school robotics program. And that kind of was a drop in the bucket that really started something really big here in the district. And we ended the following year.
Why don't we focus on robotics just for a second? Now, what happens? Somebody has an idea, then what? What's the role that you guys play?
In the past few years, we played a couple of different roles. Initially, we bought the 3D printers for the middle school so that the students could print out their ideas. Now it's to the point where the students are using coding to create the materials themselves, the product. Then they actually write the code, print it out, and then have a product. So the 3D printers are just one component now in the huge process. Currently, in the robotics program, they're developing, creating, printing it out, and then building it themselves. So from start to finish, our students are involved in this innovative process.
So each year there's a grant cycle that starts usually towards the start of a new year and goes until just recently, actually, in March. And the teachers will, if they have an idea, any idea, not too big or too small, any idea is accepted, and they will write a grant. We
It's a
provide
fairly
them.
simple application.
Yep,
Right.
yep. And they'll write a grant to the Ed Foundation, and the members come together, the grant committee. Lori's the chair, co-chair of the grant committee, and again, volunteers come together a couple nights, 3 nights sometimes, again, of their own time, countless hours spent in Miss Brady's kitchen and other places, working together to see which of these grants we're going to be able to, the Ed Foundation is going to be able to fund.
Now, aside from your kitchen, there's somebody that does this. Now, who are the people that get involved in the granting program? I mean, the volunteers. Is it, again,
This
just
year
a-
is somewhat unique because we have 19 people on the committee. So the majority of directors this year are going to be involved in the grant process.
And they do this because they want to. They really want to take a look at what it is and help
Right,
decide.
right. Because people work very hard to raise the money, and the fun part is actually giving it away. So it's natural that many people want to be part of that. Logistically, it's a challenge to get everybody the information and kind of drill down then and make the decision, but it works. It's a great group of people, so.
Let's get back to robotics just for a second. It's a really interesting because, a few years ago, the school district itself did not, although we felt it was important, did not have the resources at the time to fund everything that we wanted. So maybe you could talk about where that idea came from, Chris.
Sure. A big initiative for us was a STEAM lab that we built, again, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics lab that we built in a partnership with the Education Foundation. So we had started to dedicate some funds there, but recognized that a couple computers or one 3D printer or something like that was not really going to have the impact that we would hope it would have. So we worked together with the Education Foundation. That grant was one of the biggest ones we had at that time. It was about $30,000. Then supplemented with Board of Education funds, obviously. And we built a fantastic lab for our students over at the middle school. And kids are in there before school, during school, after school. It really just started to explode from that point on. And robotics clubs that had a dozen kids in them have over 100 students in them now. I know in particular
Not just over
at the middle
100.
school.
closer to 200. I
Yeah.
mean, we're looking at 160 to 170 kids.
It's difficult. We have additional staff. We're lucky we have several great technology teachers in the middle school who are working with our students to bring them in, and they've worked with our elementary teachers as well to help them with robotics coding, and that's moved down there. And also we have here at the high school, we have volunteer teachers working with our students now. We have parents that work with Mr. Murphy, our high school principal, in helping to shepherd the high school robotics club through. So it really started out as something that was just kind of a little pebble dropped in a pond.
It's a
and-
great illustration of how we've always hoped the Ed Foundation grants would work, because the idea is we'll only fund things for a couple of years. We want, if it's really worthy, we want the school district to pick it up and carry it forward. And with robotics, we're seeing that, you know.
And
so
even the
it-
3D printer at the high school was the first gift from the Ed Foundation to the high school in terms of robotics, so to speak, and technology. So that 3D printer was 3 to 5 years old already at this point and needed to be replaced. And so, yes, we did put it into the budget with the district's budget. Again, that role of giving those initial funds, is this going to work? Is this something that will take off? And it certainly did. And so the district then stepped in after that.
Right. That's what's so exciting about the Ed Foundation. It's an opportunity for teachers and administrators to think outside of the box.
Yes.
Think big, think innovative, and try something. We won't know if it's successful until we try it. So this gives teachers the opportunity to experiment and to go with the cutting edge ideas and see how they work.
We bring authors in.
Right. I mean, one thing, we did an out-of-cycle grant for Patricia Polacco, who has written many books. I think one of the more famous
she was
ones is
wonderful.
The Keeping Quilt. And every
Yes.
second grader in the district, she went into their classroom and read and took questions. And it was an experience that those children will remember forever. A unique experience that the school district is not in a position to pay for. The Ed Foundation was able to do that.
So the ideas that you're talking about, you were just saying before, I mean, when you recognize a new and innovative concept, robotics seems so routine today because it's so much a part of our life. You're talking about coding. It was something that was really big in the very, very beginning of the movement to introduce computers into our school, and then it kind of faded away for many years. It's back. So tell me a
Yes.
little bit about what's going on with that.
It's back big time. And again, the help of the Ed Foundation in middle school started that piece, and our middle school teachers, real experts at coding and working with our students, and students just really caught that bug, and I go in there.
Well, Audrey was saying just a few minutes ago, I mean, the cycle of thinking with regard to that. So coding plays the role of,
It's a seed. It really starts the kids recognizing that I can do more. I can, instead of just playing a game, for example, I could really build it. I could drive where it's going to go and what it's going to do. It's much more interactive. So I could get that robot to go do this, or I can get that character, that avatar to go do that. And it really inspires kids to challenge themselves over and over and over again. They may not be successful, but that's important. Struggling, good struggle, useful struggle is a skill that we need to have. It gives us some grit and determination, and it's great that we're instilling this with our students. And so coding has made its way down to our youngest kids down at the elementary level in kindergarten, first, second grade, all the way again up through the high school. We're
It's
working
almost
on
like a
bringing it
different
in.
way of thinking. that
It's
they're
another
learning.
language. We have
Yes,
FLES for our
exactly.
students at the elementary level, and we have coding as well. It's a great piece.
so tell me a little bit about some of the people who serve. I mean, without necessarily giving away all the names, what is there that is there about Rockville Center? I mean, you're here because you want to be here. I'm sure that you grew up here, you could have gone someplace else, you decided to return. More than that, you're giving back an awful lot. I mean, we're still a part of your life.
Right, yeah.
What is there?
I think there are quite a few board members who are just like me, who went through the school system in Rockville Center and then wanted to give back. And they might have their own children in the school system, maybe they have graduated, maybe they're in kindergarten, but they want to give back, and they want to be part of that positive force of promoting innovative thinking, innovative teaching, innovative learning. So I believe that a lot of everybody's there because they love education and want to promote education. Many people are there because they have a history in Rockville Center and want to give back. They want to pay it forward. And then there are parents who are interested in the quality of their child's education and trying to enhance it. And then you have people who are part of the community who are...
It's a very diverse group.
Isn't that interesting? Go ahead. I have a feeling I think I know where you're going. But
No, it's a very diverse group,
Yeah.
and it really reflects the community and the spirit of the community. Because people care about education, but they really care about making things better. I find it to be an incredible group of people. Energetic, smart, and as Audra said before, everybody brings a little something different to the table.
Yes.
And our meetings are probably the most efficient that I've ever attended. It might be an hour meeting, but we get things done, and the end results, even how Audra's in charge of the gala, I know they work so hard, but they make it look easy. They have, everybody pulls together, and the end results is amazing.
Yeah, and along this very same lines, what I find very interesting is that when I go to the gala, or in fact meet some of the people that are on the foundation, they're not necessarily the people who are going to be the people who run the PTAs. It's a very different separation
Yes.
that people have. Their commitment to the foundation is not necessarily the same commitment they have to as a parent. So I don't know the degree of involvement. I know you were very involved in the Board of Education, but it's a very, very different group of people.
I think from the beginning it was designed to be that way,
Right.
that people from different walks of life in Rockville Center were invited to join. And now the process is that every year they ask board members to nominate new board members. And it is a little hard in this day and age when people are so busy to get people to take on the commitment. But even though it's not easy, every year there's a few more people willing to do it, and there are people that have been on the board of directors for years and years, and then there are people that come and serve for 3-6 years and decide that's enough, and that's okay too.
Right.
Because that constant turnover and blend enriches it.
I'm going to end where I began. We're very close to the end of this, but I want to talk about the gala again. And, it's an opportunity to celebrate, it's an opportunity to give and to participate. So maybe if you could just, Audra, I know it takes a lot of your time, morning, noon, and night.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little bit about how people can find out more about it. Maybe they can attend, or if they can't, maybe they can contribute.
Sure. So the gala is on April 2nd at 7 p.m. If you go to the Rockville Center Schools website, there is a link with web resources for the Rockville Center Education Foundation. You can actually click on and purchase tickets for the event. You can be a sponsor. Every dollar that we raise goes directly back to the kids and to funding the grants. Also, we have a great community that supports the gala. We have business owners, merchants who donate goods and their money to creating an amazing event for us. So we have raffles, tickets, and silent auction items. And if people in the community can't come to the event, they can still purchase the tickets. So they can reach out to us and send us an email. We'd be happy to connect them with that. But we'd love to have the community come and support our cause the night of the gala. It's a wonderful event.
It truly is. It's beautiful, and it's fun, and it's for a really good cause.
Yeah. It's a celebration. It really is a
It
celebration.
really is a celebration of the
Yep.
work that you guys do, and an opportunity to get together as an entire group and
Yes.
just kind of hang out with one another and
Yes.
to say thank you all for what we've
Yeah,
done.
it's also a celebration of what Rockville Center School District is about.
Yes, well put.
We're honoring, and we feature the grants, past grants. This year especially, we're going to feature some of the robotics products, and it's an opportunity for us to gear up and prepare for next year and for funding the grants for next year. So we would love to have the community come and support us.
That's where we have to end. So,
Okay.
again, you heard it. We would really love to have you join us that night. More importantly, is the foundation itself. If you can reach out and visit the website and find out what it's all about, if you cannot contribute, cannot go to the gala, there will be opportunities for you to join in other ways and contribute. So, again, thank you very much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Wonderful people sitting with us today, wonderful people who participate in the foundation. Thank you again. Hope to see you at the gala. Bye now.